Hello and welcome to Heavenly Album Covers. Now, I'm supposed to keep track of all the albums and album covers around here, and somehow I screwed up and we don't have any albums or album covers right now. We ran out. I'm not sure what happened. I thought I was keeping track, so I'm going to have to go out and obtain some other records and record covers probably today or tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I think I can purchase a few more and keep this YouTube channel going the way it's supposed to. In the meantime, I wanted to supply some visual stimulus to everybody and for everybody, and so I just grabbed a big cardboard box and threw a bunch of knickknacks into the box, and hopefully they'll be a little bit entertaining and informative. And let's get going with Kreskin. Kreskin is still around. He's 88 years old. His real name is George Kresge, and he's a mentalist, and this is a signed photo by Kreskin, and Kreskin is just wonderful. He reads people's minds in some strange way. Next up is Coach Coop. He's a bobblehead. I think I paid $1 for him somewhere. He's really great. He's got a great expression. He's dressed up in a nice beige suit, and he's a bobblehead. Next up is a signed book that I found recently by all-around man Steve Allen, who's no longer alive, but he signed this book for somebody a long time ago. If I can find the open page here. Here we go. There's Steve Allen's signature. Now, Steve Allen is great for two things. He put Lenny Bruce on his TV show, and he also put Jack Kerouac on his TV show. So there's a signed Steve Allen book. Next up is also something I got recently. It was a sealed copy of season 2 of Chips. I really like Chips a lot. It's one of the great cultural TV shows of all time, and these are hard to find sealed in the real world, so I picked this up for a couple of bucks. Can't wait to look at it. El Yucateco hot sauce. It comes in various varieties and ingredient formulations, and El Yucateco is easily the greatest hot sauce ever developed in the world. A bunch of us attended the Special Olympics a few weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and people were handing out free stuff, and I got this. It's a fan, a personal fan with a happy face on it. You can't go outside without a Gumby in your pocket, and this is Gumby, developed and invented by Art Clokey, who was a Zen Buddhist, I believe. And I don't have a version of Pokey, his friend, his little pony friend, Pokey, but I do have a glow-in-the-dark alien, and Gumby and the alien really like each other. Also, I was cleaning up a bunch of wires and boxes and electronic stuff and audio stuff, and I found this Vivitar camera battery charger, and I'm not even sure if I have the actual camera for this, but I've got the charger, and it probably works. It's a nice battery, white color with black lettering. This is a great book, and I very much recommend it. It's called Dare to be Dull by Joseph L. Troyes, and it tells you, it gives you many tips on how to be dull, and it's real important. Here's a man doing dull yoga, and here's a man doing dull kung fu on his couch. Dare to be Dull, great book. Another great book is To My Husband, My Best Friend. It's a little poetry book, and probably from the early 80s, late 70s, and it's if you have a husband, or if you want a husband, it's all about being good to your husband and making him your best friend. And here's a couple riding a bike, and there's very touching poetry all the way through. So that's To My Husband, My Best Friend. Another book, I mean, I love books, so I could recommend a million books, but this one's great. It's called Freak. It's compiled by Nick Bishop of the National Enquirer, and it's all about Michael Jackson. There he is in his hyperbolic chamber. There's a lot of photos in the middle, and it's a really good book if you're in the doctor's office waiting and you want something to read. That's a good book. And I like old tape recorders of any sort, and especially reel-to-reel portables from the ancient days of electronics. And this is a Lloyd's portable reel-to-reel tape recorder. This was rebranded a million different times under different names, but it's essentially a very small reel-to-reel tape recorder. I don't have batteries in it, otherwise we could play it, but it's real cute. The reels pop off. It only will record about 15 minutes at a time, and the sound is not very good, but it's in good condition. You operate it with these little knobs, and that's the Lloyd's reel-to-reel. I had to replace the battery door back here, and it matches really good. Next up is it's a roll of artist tape. I think they call it masking tape, but it's real good, heavy duty, but it's thin and it's durable, and you can use this to mask off your frame, or mask off certain areas of an art piece. I don't think I'll need this anymore, but it's a cassette tape adapter. You, I think you put this in your cassette player, and I don't know, but it's a good adapter if you need one. Next up is it's another bobblehead besides Coach Coop. This is a Harvey Pekar bobblehead, real attractive. I bought a bunch of these a while ago, and I sold one and gave a couple away. His bobblehead is working good. Harvey Pekar was a comic book writer. He was a record reviewer and all-around great guy. They made a movie about him, and his comic book was called American Splendor. So that's Harvey Pekar. I have an autograph of his somewhere, but I couldn't find it. It'd be nice to have Coach Coop and Harvey Pekar have a conversation. And it's almost like Harvey Pekar is Coach Coop's very small son. So that's Harvey Pekar. There's Coach Coop again. And next up are some books. There's a book about, it's actually by Wilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest players ever in the NBA. He was a huge, very tall guy. He was a center, very very well known, very affable fellow. And this book is neat because it, if I can find it here, the cover folds out. Since he was tall, then, you know, he deserved a big fold-out paperback book cover to show his height, and that goes like that. But great player, great player, great basketball player. You can't deny it, and even Coach Coop agrees. Next up is one of my favorite books. It's called Chunks. Came out in the late 70s. It's all about your average human male, and it just goes on and on. How to be a chunk, how to be an average dude, and so that's Chunks. And the last book I have here is it's all about the animal world and this special toad that lives in the desert. I think he's a toad. And the book is called Horny, and this is Horny. He's a little horny toad, and he goes on many different adventures with his bird and dog friends, and that's Horny. And a long time ago, I used to subscribe to Mojo magazine, the music magazine out of the UK, and every issue they would include a free compilation of music on a CD. A lot of times they would mail them to me, and the jewel case would be cracked, but they did a lot of compilations of other groups doing Beatles songs, and this is one called Yellow Submarine Resurfaces, and it's very nicely designed. The disc is wonderful, and but it's a very painful CD. It's hard to describe. It's just very painful to listen to. Yet at the same time, it's kind of good, you know. And so that's Yellow Submarine Resurfaces, a highlight of my Mojo magazine subscription free CD thing. And this is a nameplate that I found somewhere of a person named Donald D. Wynn, councilman. I'm not sure where I found it. It might have been in a book or something. But that's a nameplate for Donald D. Wynn. And so that's it. I'm going to try to get more records and display more album covers very soon. I've got to get to work, get out there and find some more albums and do some research on them, and that is a look at some stuff.